Hello guys. I wanted to talk to y'all today about positivity. We all need some of that good stuff in our lives. Every single day. Like, we always need it. Positivity is what keeps us going. Honestly, it's easier said than done to have 100% a positive mindset. I don't think anybody in the entire world really has a 100% positive mindset. That's just my opinion. I'm not 100% good at that stuff. I'm not even 60% good at it. It's not something that you're good at. But you know, it's sort of a 50-50 for me. Half of my brain is like super positive, and then half of my brain is like, I'm gonna creep in and I'm gonna be dark. Life isn't all sunshine and rainbows, that's for sure. Affirmations for me help a lot. I have this app called Motivation. You can choose how many times it gives you quotes, like positive quotes. You can choose the type of quote. Every morning for the past pretty much 30 days, I have posted, or every day, I have posted a quote that I've gotten as a notification, and kind of brought my personal life into it. I've asked a question like, how are you today? And that's a question that I'm going to ask now. How are you doing? Ask yourself that. How are you doing? How am I doing? You know what I mean? Like, every morning I'm like, how are you doing? And I'm like, tired. I want to go back to fucking bed, and I don't want to go to work. I don't want to go to school. I want to crawl in bed and be a couch potato all day. The reality of that is I can't, which sucks. But, some days you gotta do what you gotta do, The app really helps, my motivation, start during the day, and it just gets my positive vibes flowing, you know what I mean? I was watching a video tonight from Roman Atwood. For those of you who don't know, Roman is another YouTuber based out of Ohio. One day I'll meet him. I've been following Roman's YouTube channel for about 4 years now. Shortly 3 minutes later, I think I subscribed to him shortly before I came out in 2015. Every time I watch a video of his, he makes me cry and smile all in one video. Most of the time, crying is mostly happy tears. So Roman has this company called SmileMore. Absolutely amazing company. I love the message. This company, him and his family have grown so much throughout the years. Even before I started watching, the company went from a van, I believe, to his garage. They built an entire building on his property just for the store. The message the Atwoods try and spread is positivity. Positivity, positivity, positivity. There are some downs. There's some ups and there's some downs. That's life. He tries to spread positivity as much as he can. His channel isn't even all about him. It's about creating memories, and sharing those memories. Maybe it would give somebody an idea, to do with their family. I'm gonna show you a couple clips that I screen recorded from his video that I just watched. These two clips that I'm gonna show you are of an article he read, and what he said really, really just spoke to me.
This week was basically about taking responsibility for your life, and the
Yes.
subject basically was built around the idea that your situation is controlled by you. And I know that's very vague. I know people can say, well, it's not my fault I was born in this house, or it's not my fault
I can
my
see where that
parents
comes
treated
from,
me this
but
way. I realize that, and there's obviously, this could go on forever, but I will say I see it all the time. I see full-grown people complaining. All they do is blame other people.
I've been a victim. I've done that.
And I think that is the point that sticks out. You have certain circumstances. You can't choose what family you're born into. You can't choose any of that, but you can use all that as example. You can use all that to better your situation. If you're in a bad situation, you know you don't want to be in that situation anymore, so you use that to better it. But one of my favorite parts of all this that I was reading was the idea, the moment you start taking responsibility for where you are as a person, where you are in the place, that's when everything starts to grow. You can blame everybody. Well, if blah 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 didn't blah blah blah, and you can blame people. You can blame people for your problems.
Yes.
But until you take responsibility for your situation, that's when the action starts, man. That's when it really starts to grow.
I just really hope that one of you or some of you got something out of what he's saying. Every situation is different. I'm not perfect, you know. I sometimes still do, but I'm getting better at, you know, blaming my parents on how shitty my life has been. Like, not, you know, everything is their fault. Like, and, you know, some people think when I say that, like, well, it's just the trauma you've gone through and da 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 da. But, you know, yeah, that might be true, but you know, my mom and my dad, or at least my mom, like, she tried to bring me up. She tried to raise me the best way that she could. And my dad just wasn't there. And for some part, you know, that scarred me, I guess. It hurt. It still does. But, you know, you take those bad moments and you rise from the ashes of it. Like a phoenix, you know what I mean? When the phoenix burns, it rises again. You know, it might be a vicious cycle at first, but, you know, just keep trudging through, and eventually it won't become a cycle, or it won't be a cycle. I've broken, within the past few months, or year, throughout 2019, I've broken a lot of cycles of my family. One being the abuse. I was able to get away from a very, very abusive situation, actually twice in my life, or 3 times. And, you know, that's not an easy thing to do. Some people die in those situations. Because they're so afraid that they can't get out. They don't know what to do. They don't have the resources. And, you know, luckily I had the resources that I needed to. And so, like, I thank Safe Voices in Lewiston. I thank New Beginnings. And I thank all of these people, because I couldn't, I don't know where I'd be. You know, I think Sass, I think Christine, I think Outright in general, I think Cyrus, you know, I thank a lot of these people. I thank my aunt for taking me in when she didn't even have to. She still doesn't. Like, she could kick me out. She's not going to, but she could. You know, all of these, I thank all of these people profusely. All of these organizations. You know, they've helped me through, whether they know it or not. They've helped me come out of bad situations. You know, I'm not blaming my life on my shitty upbringing, or you know, my upbringing was decent, considering there are worse situations. And, you know, just try to keep positive, take ownership to, you know, how you contributed to that shitty situation. If you did, if you didn't do anything for that situation and you're still in that cycle, what can you do? And I think that's sort of what Roman was getting to, was, what can I do to what can you do to counteract what you're going through? What can you do to counteract those bad emotions, the not so good parts of your life? How can you change? Like today, I shared kind of, what a year ago, I was a year ago versus how I am today. And, a year ago I was in a crisis unit. I was very mentally not here. I was very unstable. I was in an abusive household. And I didn't break that cycle until this year. Last year, I hated myself. I hated my body. I hated everyone and everything. I hated daylight. I hated smiling. I hated other people smiling. I hated other people helping me. I have come to start to love myself. It's very awkward and weird for me because of the fact that I am transgender, and my body doesn't fit me yet. That is something that I can and am going to change. Hopefully in the near future. I am going to be 18 next year. I want to graduate on time. I want to do this, this, and this. And, the more I thought about it, I did want to die, and I didn't want to live anymore. And, now I still, those moments are still there. Those moments are very, very much alive. They're not as much and as intense as they were. Now I have like backup plan after backup plan after backup plan of what I want to do with my life. I sort of started a bucket list. I've started exercising. I've started eating healthier. I started testosterone 7 months ago. There are just things that I have done to make myself feel better. Getting clothes that fit correctly. Just small little things. It's the little things that matter. I want this tattoo and it says create yourself. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm creating the person that I want to be, that I've always wanted to be. And I strive for you all to do that as well. Like, create yourself to be the most positive you can be. Yeah, there's always going to be some negatives. So what? If you can overpower those negatives with something positive or some things positive, there you go. That's life. You can do it. And if you can't imagine that right now, or if you can't just do that right now, that is okay. That is valid. What you are feeling right now, positive, negative, good, bad, ugly, whatever, it's valid. Your feelings are valid. I'm here. If anybody needs anyone to vent to, my email's always in the description. So, watching that video tonight just brought up a lot, and I thought that it could be a learning moment. It was a learning moment for me, and I want you to ask yourself the following questions that Roman asks.
You're doing? Are you doing everything you can do to better your situation, to better yourself, to better your future, to better your life?
So now that you've heard those questions, what are you going to do? How are you going to move forward? Life is not an easy road. How are you going to counteract this? That your next steps are the steps that are going to matter most. Not the steps that you took yesterday, or 2 minutes ago, or 1 second ago. The steps that will matter most are the steps that you're actively taking right now. Because the steps that you are taking right now are paving the path for you and for future generations. Alright guys, so me and Hollow are going to say goodnight. If this video helped you and you want to talk about it more, message me on any of my social medias that are open. So Facebook, or Instagram, or Twitter. I will re-download Twitter if I have to. Or email. Email is always the best. Always the one that I'll answer most. Peace, love, and happiness. Stay true. Stay you. Bye.